What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales of the Rays video. The producer's letter is... no, I didn't actually mean to... Okay, the producer's letter is up, and we're going to be going over it in just a second. If you want to read this yourself, I will leave the link to this in the description for once I actually have it pulled up on where it actually is. There's some very exciting stuff going on here. I knew about some of it because the producer's letter in Japanese released before I went to sleep. So some of the small things, I mean, you'll see it right here. They're adding online multiplayer. Well, I'm sure the first one will be a beta. It says late March. So we'll have a beta for the multiplayer, but we'll go into more detail what that actually means. And then we're going to go over the schedule as well. So in version update 3.8.0, this is what we're going to get. So late March, so probably like the last week of March, probably with either the story chapter or the second event. There's going to be something called multiplayer Unison Attack. Well, Unison Attack is the name, not multiplayer Unison Attack. In this update, a multiplayer feature will be released for testing, as the word multiplayer can have many different meanings. Here, clarifications just to avoid any confusion. The following features will definitely not be included into this mode: ranking, guilds, and real-time chat communication. So I made a tweet earlier about the fact that we could see guilds possibly in the future. But I guess some people maybe misread it or whatnot. As of right now, it doesn't look like any of this stuff is being added. They may decide to add guilds for like a social feature down the line, but it looks like they're not adding anything. Well, who knows? Let's read everything before I jump the gun on anything. So, as seen in the surveys, many were against the idea of having these featured. It also didn't fit their idea of wanting to have a new way to enjoy the game without conforming to the mandatory guild and ranking features found in our social games. So they're referring to other games where, you know, you have some kind of guild, the guild works together in specific events, and you're actually competing against other guilds. People seem to not really want that for Tales of the Rays, which I can understand. You know, Tales doesn't really kind of fit that theme. But I'm sure there are players that would love to kind of have that kind of stuff. So the beta rules, so this is how it's going to work. A total of 3 players will play at once. Each player can bring up to 2 characters. One to control, another is reserved. So you'll have a character out, and then either if you want to switch out, or if your character goes down, it'll switch to the other character. I think you would just like tap on the character's picture, and that would actively switch the character. Enemies will keep coming in, work together to take down up to 100 enemies. So it's literally like, if you played any of the other Tales games that have the Colosseum, just think of it like that. Like the 100-man melee in Vesperia, maybe is a good example, where you just keep fighting until you either lose or you beat all the enemies. So this will be very interesting, and it'll really kind of push people to really think about how to work together. And this is crazy that a mobile game is the first one that plays like a Tales game that is actually getting online co-op in some form. But let's read to what it says here. To put it simply, you will be in arena-based co-op mode where you have to defeat X amount of enemies. You'll be able to swap between the 2 characters you bring along. The reserved character will slowly recover themselves. So that makes it sound like if you're sticking out with one character, the other character can like heal over time. So that's kind of cool. Also, when getting incapacitated, other players will be able to save you. So I assume that means if your characters go down, maybe they can run over to you and revive you. So that's interesting. Next up will be some mechanics introduced in this mode. Badges. By tapping on badges that are on the bottom right of the screen, a circular AoE area will be generated where you will be able to gain various effects such as status boosts, cast time reductions, and nullifying master art conditions. I apologize for the garbage truck outside, if you guys can even hear that. Other players can enter the circle and use their own badges to do things like increasing the range. So I thought the badges, they literally just look like stickers. It's like if you play any other gacha games where you can like, because they don't let you actually type in chat because you could write, you know, vulgar stuff or whatever. They just have you write stickers and not write. They let you use stickers, and that's a way to kind of like convey like, what you want a player to do or what you're feeling type thing. So like if you want a player to do a certain type of attack, there's a sticker for that type thing. I thought that's what these are for, but these are actually like stickers or badges that give you buffs. So that's cool. These badges will be separated into badges used during battle and badges used during Mirage Arts. Using the MA badges will also provide some supportive effects for other players during battle, buffs, etc. Very, very cool. Special. I did also see that you're going to be able to, and it might actually, I don't really see it being talked about here, but or it actually might be this. Oh, okay. By destroying crystals that appear during battle, a special resonance art between the 3 players can be used, which will have newly recorded voices of the characters shouting out the attack name. So it's like a triple attack between 3 characters. So that means they're going to have to voice lines for every character that's already in the game. That's crazy, just for this new mode. Character swapping in battle. As mentioned before, you'll be able to swap out your current character for your substitute character during battle. When swapping out characters, they will enter in using an art. As such, you'll be able to use this effectively to interrupt attacks, enemy attacks, for combos and such. So if you're, let's say you want to just swap out, because I assume you won't just be able to swap in and out over and over and over. I assume there'll be a cooldown once you swap. But you can at least, like let's say you're at a point where your combo is about to end, you don't have any CC left, but you want to keep the combo going, switch out to the next character, they jump in with an art, and you continue the combo there. Alright, so pacing. While the idea to test out this new unison attack mode, it will not always be active. They will be holding it out during the weekends or bi-weekly... during the weekends on a bi-weekly basis. Okay, so pretty much 2 weekends a month, you'll be able to do it. So it's not going to be something you can just, you know, hop in and play whenever you want. There will be a theme each time. I mean, I like this, though, because it gives it a chance to be changed, and it's not just going to be the same thing all the time. So there'll be a theme each time when it's held, with the usable characters being Oh. Okay, so this is actually really interesting because, okay, so that makes sense with the voicing stuff. I was like, that's a lot of characters you have to do it with. So only certain characters are going to be able to be used. And if you, like, let's say, for example, let's say the first one, because they show, if you actually open the game, you can see a little preview of it. It just shows Abyss characters. So let's say the first one is just Tales of Abyss. If you don't have any Tales of Abyss characters leveled up, you're probably not playing that time. But that's why it does make it seem like it's not going to be as necessary of a game as just kind of to have fun. So it looks like roughly around 10 characters will be usable in each one, so you'll have to see which characters among those that you can actually use. Rewards. While there will be stuff like enhancement materials available, the main rewards will be badges to be used within you. So they're basically making it so this isn't a game mode that players have to feel like, oh, this is unfair because I don't want to play online, but I want rewards like diamonds and stuff. So hopefully they stick to this and they don't make some crazy rewards for it. There will be several types of badges for each character. Okay, so each character is going to have their own kind of badges. Okay. Which you can hold multiple of or strengthening effects or exchange them with other players. Oh, you can exchange badges. That's interesting. I mean, it's not a gacha feature, so... Also, since rewards mainly consist of the badges that are exclusive to Unison Attack mode, you may still continue playing solo if you are not interested in multiplayer. So that's them literally saying there's not going to be any rewards other than maybe these enhancement materials. Like, you know, just regular ones. I doubt they'll do the 6 enhancement orbs. They might, though, if they go game-based. But either way, if you're not interested in multiplayer, you really won't be missing out on much by not playing this game mode. I think it'll be fun to try, though. It could be one of those things where also we do it on stream. You know, maybe one weekend I'll do a live stream and we'll, you know, I'll have people who are watching, you know, hop in a lobby with me. And we'll see how high we can get. Okay, let's go over the schedule for March. So, Tales of Link's 6th anniversary. I was going to make a separate video on this, but I felt like it didn't really matter. I'll probably work it into the title somehow. Sarah Allen Decisive Mirage Art, March 3rd. That is tonight. So, we're also getting a... let me read this first, and then we'll talk about it. Tales of Link will be reaching its 6th anniversary. There won't be a new episode this time, so there's not going to be a new event. But they will be rerunning the Journey of Link event from last year, with Decisive Miragearts being released for Sarah and Alan this time, they would like to do something for Zephyr and Kana next year as part of the 7th anniversary. So Zephyr and Kana fans, don't fret. Even it sucks for Zephyr because that's a whole nother year without a second Mirajart, so he's really not that usable. But yeah, this is going to be dropping tonight, so we're going to have... I don't know how they're going to work it, because we may just get the rerun event and then one banner. Or they might have the rerun banner from last year. I feel like they're probably just going to do one banner, because there's only 2 new Mirajarts to add, so... What was it last year? What was on the banner? It was, Kana had a seasonal, and... Did Sarah got another seasonal? I forget what happened last year, but... There really shouldn't be that many Mirajarts on the banner total, so I feel like it'll be fine. So that will be something that we get a free multi for. I guess I could, we'll take a look at it. Maybe I'll make like a quick little, 5-minute video where we look and see if there's anything special with the rerun event. And then, because I assume there will be a shop of some kind. And then maybe we'll just do our free multi, see how that goes. But yeah, so that'll be dropping tonight. So very, very cool. They'll probably save doing a story for next year, so that way when all the Decisive Mirajarts are in, maybe they decide to do a new story. So I can see that happening. 6 batch of Spirit Gears, Saray, Rose, and Alicia, mid-March 2020. So that'll be on the 14th. So it'll literally be, once the live stream ends, well actually, I mean, it'll be later when the live stream ends, because I think it's on the 13th, like the end of the 13th, early 14th, when the current event ends, so that's when the Spirit Gear event should start, unless they start it earlier, but I don't think they will. But we'll see. Saray, Rose, and Alicia will be receiving their Spirit Gear. Saray and Rose will be able to armatize through a power of Spirit Gears. So I still kind of feel meh about the fact that they're not getting actual designs. And there's also a weird thing, like if you look at Saray's attack animation, so if they're always armatized, it's just weird because they're not going to change the overall gameplay for these characters. Like, Rose, when she's armatized, doesn't fight with her daggers in Zestiria, but she's probably going to fight that way here, which is going to look weird. And then Saray fights with a giant sword when he's fire armatized, but in his actual Mirajart animation for the Spirit Gear, it literally shows him with his tiny sword making it into a big one. So that's going to look very kind of weird. We'll have to see how they implement it. Hopefully it's not exactly like that. Maybe they do something special with armatization, but we'll see. Along with that, Alicia will be receiving a Dark Elemental Spirit Gear. Why Dark, you may ask? While Alicia is not inherently Dark Element, she stands as someone from royalty who is involved in a political dispute. She has touched the people's darkness, and instead of being consumed by it, she utilizes it. So the fact that she's in politics with all these, like, kind of scummy politicians, as you would have seen if you played Zestiria, doing a lot of underhanded stuff, she is utilizing that darkness that she has to be around. So it's not like her falling into darkness or anything. In regards to the Tale series, being compatible with Dark Elemental arts doesn't necessarily mean they fall into darkness, which makes sense. And then here's the interesting thing here. They don't mention a story. So that's very interesting, because we have this tonight. We have our first event, on the 13th, 14th. So, 11 days from now. And then we have a second event, but they don't mention a story here. So I'm wondering if they're skipping the story, or if it was just not mentioned. It's just part of, like, oh, everything else is going to be shown on, like, because event here, it says more to be revealed on the 3rd anniversary live stream on 3/13, which we will be doing a live watch of that to see what they reveal, because they might have some Arc 4 stuff to reveal there, but who knows. But let's talk about everything else here. There's a few more things here. There'll be a showcase of the Unison attack mode during the live stream. Okay, so that'll be cool. We get to see that. Dio and Mel have been confirmed to join at some point. So Dio and Mel are characters from the same game as Rondaline, Tales of Phantasia, what is it, Nakakiri Dungeon? I think I'm saying that right. So they will be coming at some point. Due to production reasons, some characters have been made to wait a long time for their skill quest, meaning their second, like, skit, when you get them to bond level 10. The producer asked for a bit more time. This part has no relation to version 3.8.0, but there have been so they're basically just talking about cheating here, and how they hope that people will not cheat and just, you know, obey the rules of the game. Because there's been cheating. Why would you cheat in Whist? The rewards aren't even worth cheating for, honestly. And they're hoping people don't cheat in the Unison attack mode, since there's not really any reason to cheat, because there's not going to be any rewards in there that you inherently need. So people are hoping they don't cheat anymore. But yeah, very interesting they don't have story here at all. Hopefully they don't take another break, unless we're just going to be at the point now where we're just getting story chapters every, like, other month, which is what it's kind of been turning into, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what goes on with that. But yeah, overall, my biggest weird thing about all of this is just how Soraya and Rose are going to work gameplay-wise, because if they don't fight like they did in Zestiria, you know, with Rose essentially, you know, throwing the wind stuff around if she's armatized with wind, like, her just running around stabbing people while armatized with her small daggers really wouldn't look that good. Same thing with Soraya and his tiny sword. I feel like if they're gonna do Armatus, like, at least make them use the weapons that they use when they're, you know, armatized like that. I still wish they would have gotten original designs, but, you know, it is what it is. It's also kind of weird that in the picture we don't see a spirit gear gauge for Soraya and Rose, so I wonder if they're going to work differently than everybody else, but we'll have to wait and see for that. But other than that, that's pretty much everything. Not really too much else to talk about here. We have the, like I said, we have the banner tonight for Sarah and Alan and the rerun event, so it's more diamonds people will be able to get. 6 batch of spirit gears dropping around the 13th, 14th. And then the 13th, well, right before we get that event, we're going to have the live stream. Let me actually make sure real quick, because sometimes I always get confused, because on Tales of the Rays, they always have this thing where it's like, it'll say, oh, event ends March 13th, but it'll be like 23:59. So it's like literally the next day. So I just want to make sure real quick before we get out of here that it is on the, because I want to see if it's before the live stream or after the live stream. So I'm just booting up the game on the side while we talk about this. But the multiplayer mode looks like it'll be fun. It looks like they just want to do, yeah, I guess there was some mistranslation. Like last night, people in the Tales of the Rays Discord were talking about how there's going to be guilds and rankings added. But it looks like the people who are looking at it probably misread what it meant. I'm sure people probably used, like, and nothing against them, you know, I do this all the time. I'm guessing people probably use Google Translate, and then they just saw ranking guilds and chat, and probably just ran with it. But I feel like guilds as a social function would be fine. Okay, so it's, because I was opening up the game, so it is the 13th at 0. It's actually at a weird time. It's at a different time than it normally. Okay, that goes away on the 5th. Very interesting. You know what? Let's actually see what that time is. So 00:59. This is very impromptu. But let's see. What time is that? So that's at 11. So I'm guessing we might get some kind of maintenance, maybe. Because according to that time, that is... Oh, they're probably... Okay, I see what they're doing. So what they're probably doing is, they're probably setting it up so that when the live stream ends, possibly, that the new event goes... Which really doesn't matter, because we already know what the Spirit Gear thing is. But, it's weird. According to the time that it's going, that the event is going down, it's 00:59, which is like 1 o'clock essentially. But that's like 11 o'clock in the morning, and we never, like, for us, we never have events that start that late. So we'll just have to wait and see. You know, once we start to get the news for everything, it'll become more apparent as to what we're getting. For all we know, the Spirit Gear event could start before the 13th. They could start it on like the 10th or the 11th, because Spirit Gear events don't always tend to start exactly when an event ends. It's always kind of like an ongoing thing, so we'll just have to see what they do here. But that's going to be it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. Let me know what you guys think down below. I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.